Welcome back to this thing where I have crazy hair now. Um, so, first of all, at the end of my last video, I said that I wanted to talk about RRP, recurrent respiratory papillomatosis, because I was going in for a procedure. Um, Luckily, my camera husband was there to record it all, so I have it all on tape. I can show you later. But stupid me didn't realize that when you get your vocal cords lasered and shit, like you can't really talk so good for a while afterwards. um, so it's been like a month and a half, I think, since my procedure, and my voice is coming back. I don't know, who knows. But anyway, so that's why I didn't have a video on RRP. I do instead now want to talk about two things. Number one is the obnoxious traffic cone on my head. Number two is we just passed Gay Pride Month, which I'm a little late, but better late than never, right? So first of all is my hair. For those of you who know me, I would say this is my normal color. I have been dyeing my hair fluorescent orange literally since 2009. Not trying to be a hipster or anything, but like my hair was crazy colors way before yours was, so get on my level. Anyway, so yeah, so I've dyed it since 2009. I've gone back to my natural color twice since then. Once, I kind of just wanted to change things up, and also our wedding was happening, so I thought I wanted more natural hair for our wedding pictures. And then very shortly after our wedding, I went back to orange. And then just relatively recently, the salon I was going to kind of hiked their prices on me, and I couldn't afford it anymore. So that's why I went back to normal, natural, whatever you want to call normal. So you might ask, why is this a big deal? Like, why do I want to make a whole video devoted to my fluorescent orange hair, which, by the way, supposedly glows under the black light, but I don't have a black light, so I don't know. But anyway, why is my hair a big deal? If you interact with the disabled / chronically ill community really at all, you probably notice that more than average percentage of us have tattoos, weird hair, piercings, body modification, we wear strange clothes, whatever it may be. And a lot of that, I think, stems from we have no control over our bodies. We have no control over what's happening in them. I mean, we can take our medications as prescribed, do physical therapy, eat right, sleep right, whatever, but ultimately, like, it's just a clusterfuck. And I feel like I also spend my entire life having things done to me. And I guess, yes, I consent to it, but I mean, nobody really wants needles shoved in their neck, let's be real, or like in their crotch, which happened recently. Long story. Anyway, so my hair is something that I can really easily control. And even though it's kind of annoying to have to sit in the chair for 2.5 hours, it's a process that's being done to me that I truly decided I wanted to have done. So nobody suggested, oh, you should dye your hair orange. This was totally my idea. Actually, most people would probably suggest against this, but fuck them, right? So, like I said, I've been dyeing my hair orange since about 2009. And at that point, I was in college. And I was never like a crazy partier, so it's not like I was trying to be rebellious or anything. I just thought it would be fun. And when I look back now, it coincides kind of with the beginning of the end for me. So 2009 is kind of when my pot symptoms started to progress. When I look back now, I was having a lot of fatigue, a lot of brain fog. I think subconsciously I could feel the control sliding away from me. And granted, I mean, I've been sick since I was an infant, so it's not like this was something new to me. But obviously, it was different. So I think I truly believe that's what led me to dye my hair bright orange. It was not the chick from fucking Paramore, because I hate her. Setting the record straight. Another reason orange hair is important. I recently went to King of Prussia Mall after getting my hair re-oranged, and it was so refreshing to have people walk by and say, "Oh my God, your hair is so cool," as opposed to people walking by and like trying to whisper to their friends, like, "Oh my God, there's a service dog," or "Look at that chick in the wheelchair," or whatever it may be. This is obnoxious enough that they notice this before they notice the wheelchair or the dog, which is pretty cool. And tattoos are kind of the same way. They're kind of expensive, they kind of hurt, but tattoos don't hurt nearly as bad as most of the medical procedures I have done. So I'm totally a different ballgame. So I can't speak for anybody else in the community, obviously, but I really, really believe that we kind of, I don't know, just default to other forms of controlling our bodies. You know, do what you gotta do. The second thing I wanted to talk about was happy late Gay Pride Month. I'm a huge supporter of GLBT plus community since forever, I guess. I helped start the Gay Straight Alliance in high school. I had a ton of gay, non-binary, queer friends in college, high school, etc. So it's something very near and dear to my heart. And as the great philosopher Gus Johnson on YouTube says, it's very important that boys support boys. What I mean by that is we're both kind of, I don't want to say underprivileged communities, but we are minority groups who don't necessarily get the representation that we need or deserve. I believe that the GLBTQ movement is a couple steps ahead of the disabled movement, if you'll call it that. But I do think there are a ton of similarities. A lot of times, unfortunately, we have to choose our own families in the chronic illness community. When we get diagnosed with stuff, unfortunately, there are family members who don't believe what the doctors say. They think people are just being lazy, and long story short, the person with the illness ends up kind of on their own. And so we turn to each other and we turn to our friends to kind of rebuild our tribe. And that is exactly what happens to way too many people in the queer community. I don't understand how parents and families can be. Anyway. The next similarity that I think our group kind of has in common with the queer community is we're both kind of petrified for our rights and for our lives in general right now. Obviously for the gay community, like, there's literally still lynchings happening. There's still HIV, AIDS is very prevalent, although it is becoming less so. There's hate crimes, there's bullying, suicide rates are just through the roof. It's sickening. And then many of those things also fit into the disabled category. We're bullied. We have our government assistance taken away from us. The ADA is moving backwards, much like trans rights are. Suicide rates, again, are through the roof. It's not something that is ever talked about, but chronically ill people, their suicide rates are pretty abysmal. So in a way, I think both minority groups, we're just kind of scared. And it sounds dramatic, but I think we're both kind of scared for our lives right now. So I think it's super important at this time with this current president, if you want to call him that we band together and really try to support each other. Not trying to get on my soapbox here, but and I do know that at some disabled rallies or like sit-ins, protests, a lot of GLBTQ organizations come out to help. So I feel like we should return the favor a little bit. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I typically deck myself in rainbows anyway. But for the past month or so, it's been even more obnoxious. So any of my family or friends who've been wondering, like, why it's such a big deal to me, I guess, I hope this kind of connects the dots for you. I'm married, I'm a cis woman married to a cis male, so obviously my foot's not in that pool, but I absolutely appreciate what they're going through, and I can only imagine what it would feel like to be in their shoes right now. So that's kind of it. Those were the two things on my mind. My hair is awesome. I wanted to show it off. Floof, floof, floof. And I guess that's it. Who knows when my next video will be? I don't fucking know. I've had all kinds of crazy shit done since my last video. I saw my ENT for my vocal cord stuff, and then I had my first ketamine infusion for pain management. So I definitely want to talk about and chronologue those journeys. But until then, thank you for watching this thing again, and I'll see you at some point. Thanks. Bye.